In a world where corporations forbid you from owning the gaming assets you've spent hundreds of hours of obtaining, one gamer dared to look beyond conventional game models, and what he found will blow your mind. Unbeknownst to him and many other gamers, exists a world where gamers have come together to launch a revolution. No more will they be bound by the constraints set forth by greedy corporations. No more will they be penalized for supporting games that they love dearly. No more will time spent gaming be deemed wasted. No, this world encourages you to sell your game assets for profit if you so desire. It encourages you to trade those assets for resources that will help you climb to the upper echelon. It encourages you to dig deep, grind, and passionately explore this world and beyond. This is the Vulcan Forged Metaverse. Welcome, puny mortals.
Alright, well, if that doesn't get you excited, I'm not sure what will. Let's talk about Vulcan Forged, but first, a little history. So I've enjoyed gaming for as long as I can remember. In my earlier years, I'd pull all-nighters with friends trying to beat records and gain achievements. We mostly played stuff like Mario 64, Tiger Woods Golf, and Gran Turismo. Fun games for sure, but not a whole lot of substance. But then I was introduced to RPGs and strategy games in college. This is where my passion for gaming really took off. During my sophomore year, World of Warcraft was released. If you're like me, you've spent hundreds, if not thousands, of hours playing WoW. During one summer, I literally spent 14 hours a day grinding to become one of the top main tanks on a fresh server. I was a bit of a degenerate that summer, not gonna lie. But it did show me that I had a passion for gaming, and that has never left me to this day. And aside from some self-discovery, what else did I have to show for my time? A lot of cool gear and shiny pixels that other players would have dreamed of having? Parents who probably thought I was never going to make it through college? And some fractured relationships with friends who just didn't understand it. But the account was surely worth something, right? All that time spent? It had to have some value. Well, of course it did. People wanted the account when I quit the game for the first time, and were willing to pay for it. The problem was the terms of service prohibited the sale of accounts. All assets in the account were owned by Blizzard. I did end up selling that account, but the value was capped because the new owner assumed the risk of the account being banned. What might have been worth thousands at the time was only sold for a couple $100. So a lot of years have passed since I sold that account, and not a whole lot has changed. An overwhelming majority of players still can't extract value from their time spent playing games. Until now. There's this new buzzword called the metaverse that is reshaping the way we interact with one another. Specifically, it's reshaping the gaming industry right now. But the metaverse doesn't exist yet, right? Wrong. I'd like to introduce you to Vulcan Forged, the premier gaming ecosystem that brings worlds together. Vulcan Forge has a flagship game called Vulcanverse, and it's an open-world, massively multiplayer online role-playing game, also known as an MMORPG. It lets players buy their own plot of land, develop it, and earn income just by playing and generating quests. The game is currently open to landowners only, but will soon be launching a free-to-play option where landowners can recruit non-landowning players to help develop the land and earn money while doing so. What's that? MMORPGs aren't your thing? Well, don't worry, they've got you. Try your hand at their card collector game, Berserk. If you like games like Hearthstone or Magic, this is the game for you. Or check out Vulcan Forged Arena, a real-time battle simulator that pits you against another player for some quick, action-packed battles with avatars that you own in various different games. Yeah, that's right. You can own game assets in one game and use it in another. Too good to be true? I thought so too. But it's here. It exists. And you're still early to the party. Alright, so how does someone get started in Vulcan Forged? Simple. Use the referral code in the description. Create an account, then try out some of the free-to-play games they have. When you play, your account earns XP for wins, losses, quests, and more. Once you hit 100 XP, you and I get some lava. Lava is the play-to-earn currency that allows you to upgrade land, avatars, your account, and more. In addition, once you earn enough XP, You could opt to exchange it for other tokens on the Polygon network. You'll need one token in particular if you want to start purchasing NFTs on the Vulcan market, and that token is PYR. PYR, or PYR, is the backbone of the Vulcan Forged economy, and it's what you'll need to upgrade land, NFTs, and purchase items from their marketplace. Or you could simply hold on to your PYR in your MyForged wallet, which will allow you to earn lava passively over time as long as you have enough XP accumulated on your account. Another alternative would be to simply cash out your lava by swapping it to another token on the Vulcan Forged Decentralized Exchange, or DEX. Once you make the swap, you can transfer coins to your favorite DEX that can convert them to fiat. So it's your choice to grind and grow stronger, grind to earn income, or find a good balance between those two options. So basically, you play games, they reward you with XP, and then you start making money by playing more. Now, if you have no idea what cryptocurrency is or how to buy, sell, or trade it, that's okay. The beauty is that you can start slowly by playing games for free while you learn. That's what I did. Additionally, the Vulcanverse Discord, which I'll link in the description, has a ton of information to get started, and the community is always willing to answer questions. It will be overwhelming at first if you're new to blockchain gaming. I know it was for me, but reach out to the community and ask questions, and they'll get you started in the right direction. All right, I'm on the screen. And for the last part of this video, I just want to talk about my current favorite game in their ecosystem called Berserk. It's a card collector game, much like Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone, and it uses NFTs as cards. So let's look at Magic, right? Magic has physical cards. You go out, buy packs, you build decks with those physical cards, and you play with them. Berserk is the same thing, except instead of the physical cards, you have digital cards called NFTs, or non-fungible tokens. You can see here, if you actually go and click on that, it'll bring you to the Vulcan market, and you are able to buy, sell, or trade one or multiple NFTs. So in this package right here, there are 3 NFTs for sale. There's one here, but there's a whole bunch of NFTs that you can actually purchase throughout the marketplace. So that's how you actually go get your NFTs. So switching back to the Berserk webpage, again, it's berserk.vulcanforge.com/play. That's where you go to play Berserk. It's web-based, nothing to download. You just log in with your MyForge credentials that you should have just set up if you're just getting started, and then you just start playing. So let's talk about the decks first. Again, you are building decks in this game, and each deck has 30 cards maximum. They do have 2 default decks that they put together for you, but let's go ahead and actually build a deck from scratch. That way you can see some of the cards and how to do this. This is your deck builder page. Let's go ahead, hit new. All right, so let's go ahead and start building the deck. And by building the deck, we'll actually go ahead and learn what some of these cards do and how to read some of the information on those cards. Let's take a look at this card right here. The Hyperenor of the Spartoi. Hopefully I got that one right. But regardless, each card has a few things you want to pay attention to. In your top left-hand corner, you see that red diamond with the 1 in there. That is going to be the lava and the cost of the to play the card. So just like Magic the Gathering, you've got mana, and each turn that you take, you are progressively gaining mana over time. So this will cost you 1 lava that you need to have in your little lava bank in order to play the card. On the bottom left-hand corner, you've got your attack damage. So when this card attacks, it's going to do 1 damage. On the bottom right-hand corner, you've got your health. So this card has 1 health. It will only take 1 damage before the card disappears or effectively dies and goes to the graveyard. You also have the rarity in the top right-hand corner. Those icons, as you'll see as we start building these decks, change depending on the rarity. This icon, you can see in the middle of the card, shows it's a common card. So be on the lookout for the different rarities, because one would expect that the higher rarity, the better the card is going to be to play it. So let's actually start building the deck, right? You can see up here we have 30 cards that we can put in the deck maximum. I currently have 0. It's also giving you a little display of how many cards you have in the deck of whatever cost is on the top of that column. So right now, because I have none, it's not showing any indication that I have any cards in there, so that's good. So let's start just building decks, building the deck and putting a deck together. Pretty easy. We won't go through and build a full deck, but I'll just show you how to get started. Right here you have an indication of how many cards you have of that particular card that you can choose from. So right now I have 2 of this Hardwood Club, 2 of the Spartoy, 2 of the Scout, 2 of the Helot, and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to bring in a couple. All you have to do is click, and drag. So I brought those 2 clubs in, and you can see that I now have ×2, and my column 1 here is indicating that I only have cards that cost 1 lava in my deck. So that's good. Let's go ahead and drag this down and just start bringing in a couple other ones. So here's, some instant damage when you play it. Let's bring in 4 cost. Let's bring in an 8 cost just to show you what it kind of looks like. So this is showing right now that my distribution of cards is pretty even between 1, 2, and 4, and I've got about half of a 7+ card in there compared to those others. So it's a really good indication of am I really top heavy on my high cost cards or bottom heavy on my low cost cards. Once you start playing around, you're going to find decks that really work for you. So all you have to do is save that and you will end up creating a new deck. Remember, you probably don't want to go into a battle with only 7 of 30 cards, so make sure you have 30 of 30 in there. I'm going to go ahead and back out because I don't want to save this deck. I'm going to use a different deck. So I said okay. And the last piece of this screen here that we want to talk about is just these buttons. You can edit, so you can pick any one of these and you can edit. Again, all you have to do is click and drag. Whether it's from clicking where your inventory is to the actual deck or from the deck back to your inventory, just click, drag, and drop, and you start building your deck. We just talked about the new. We can delete decks as we like, or we could just go back, and we're going to go back because I want to actually just go play a game. The duels button is if you wanted to practice with the AI, you could go ahead and do that. So you just join a room, practice with the AI, create a room. If you want to just create a room for specific people to come in and you want to play against them, and then you can also select a deck that you actually want to play with. I'm just going to go back out and hit play. So there are 3 leagues that you can play in. The Starter League, which is common NFTs, and Vulcanites up to level 1. Vulcanites are essentially, if you think about Hearthstone, you're kind of champions that you select to play the game with. You get a level 0 Vulcanite to start with. When you create a Vulcan Forged account, just realize that whenever you select that Vulcanite, when you're creating your account, it stays with you. You can't change it. So you'd have to create a whole new account in order to change your Vulcanite. So just be careful with that. There are some perks that I won't get into now about selecting different ones. I didn't know them when I selected mine, but I like the look of my Vulcanite, so I just kept it. So then there's the Mythic League. So you have common, rare, mythic NFTs and Vulcanites levels 1 through 3. All neutrals are allowed in every league. Then you also have the Legendary League, so you have to have a level 1 or higher Vulcanite, and then there's no other restrictions. So this is where you're kind of where you're going to see a lot of the powerful cards come in. Your Mythic League is going to be kind of your mid-tier cards, and then your Starter League is going to be those that just haven't purchased any NFTs and don't really have great cards to select from. And I'm in that boat right now. I've been just playing this, just free to play, gathering XP, and just enjoying the game. Right now, there's a limited amount of cards, but starting in Season 3, we're currently we just ended Season 1, I think a couple months, 2-3 months ago. They're about to start Season 2. But in Season 3, more cards will be coming out and being added to the population to get more variety into the game. So anyways, let's go ahead and play. It'll come up with this box here, searching for an opponent. Usually, I've been finding that you'll find an opponent anywhere between 5 seconds and about 2 minutes. It really depends on who's online and really wanting to play, right? So we'll go ahead and let this find an opponent, and we'll come back when we find someone. All right, we just found someone. Took about a minute to do that, so now we're joining the game. So when you actually join the game, you're going to actually get an opportunity to reselect or redraw cards that you want to have in your starting hand. So for me, I don't really need this 3 cost, don't really need this 4 cost, and I would prefer probably a different 2 cost here. So because I already have one of these, I'm going to go ahead and exchange that one, and you hit done. Those get exchanged, and good. I found a nice little card there to help with some damage. So I'm playing Honey Badger. Honey Badger, if you're watching this, good luck. And all you have to do is just go ahead and drag, drop onto the playing field or the battlefield, and you're good to go. So because I played an undead, undeads get to attack immediately. All you have to do is click, drag onto the other enemy's hero, and you end your turn. Be sure to end your turn, because if you don't end your turn, you're just sitting there wasting time for the other player. You want to keep the game flow going as much as possible. So it's their turn now. They brought in this card that basically stuns me when it attacks. So I'm gonna kind of do the same thing, play the same card. It's a pretty good one. I don't really want to die right now, so I'm going to go ahead and attack. And that's really all this is, right? You're looking at your lava cost that each card costs. You're thinking about the decks that you're playing up against, and you're trying to strategize in real time what's the best move, right? Just like Magic, just like Hearthstone, it's very similar in that regard. Alright, so they're doing 2 damage. I've got a health pool of 3. The cool thing is, if I stun this card, it can't attack next turn. So I'm probably going to end up doing that. I may end up... actually, what I can do is I can go ahead and kill it. I'm going to go ahead and give myself 1 damage on that card. I'm going to do 1 damage to a card of my choice, and I'm going to kill it. So now I'm just working on controlling the board. I found that, if you have more, more cards out there, typically the better, right? You don't want to let your opponent go ahead and grab control of the board by just spamming their cards. So there we go. They played a couple cards. That cost 1. That cost 1 as well. They took out my stun, which is probably a good thing for them, for sure. Right, so I've got 4 lava to play with. If I attack this card, they're going to do 1 damage and kill me. So what I actually want to do is probably not do that. Go ahead and force them to choose which card to attack if they want to sacrifice just to gain 1 damage. Now it might be a smart move for them, because they might have that club in their hand. They do 1 damage, they use the club to do another 1 damage, but then that focuses on one of my cards only. Okay, so they played an undead, the Spartoi Palast. And again, undead can go immediately when you play them, so just know that when you're starting to play the game. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and bring in this guy with Rage. He will get 1 attack each time. So if I can keep him alive, that would be preferred, because I want to get more damage, right, over time. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice this guy just to make sure that this one doesn't die. So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right? I mean, just like Hearthstone, just like Magic the Gathering, you're looking at back and forth in a turn-based game. strategizing with what cards you have and what cards you believe the other player has. So we won't play this whole match out because it's going to take another 10 minutes or so to finish it up. So we'll come back when we're about done and we'll talk about the rest. All right, so we're just about to finish up, and actually the player that I'm playing against just disconnected. You can tell that they disconnected by this little button here. So what usually happens here is a couple things. Their turn is going on right now. It may freeze out at t = 0, and they may come back. It may just stop for a bit, but usually a bot will come back in and fill the player's spot. So if you ever run into this situation, just go ahead and wait it out and just let the bot come in. If you notice that you're having issues, all you have to do is hit that refresh button on your browser and you will actually come straight back into this game. It'll load you up, it'll send you into this game, and you'll play as if you never left. The other person may be interacting with you because a bot may have taken your place, but it'll be there for you to play. So now I have the opportunity to go ahead and finish this game. Because they didn't have a turn, usually I would simply just come back, just end my turn and let them play, but a bot has come in, so because the bot's come in, I'm just going to go ahead and end the game. Apologies, Honey Badger, hopefully it wasn't a big issue on your part, but there you go. So you got a victory out of here. You hit OK, and you come back to the main Berserk screen for play. So that's it really. Berserk, it's a pretty straightforward game. Again, limited cards, so getting in now and getting in early is good because you start learning the cards. You get to understand the game a bit more, you get to understand the strategy a bit more. Getting in now, you get more XP. Well, I'm sorry, you don't get more XP, you get XP for playing, and the more you play the more you can earn over time. So I'm pretty bullish on this project. I really like it. I'm definitely going to keep playing that play to earn or free to play kind of style here. That way I can start getting the XP that I need in order to start converting lava into cryptocurrency that I can actually hold in exchange for real fiat money. So I hope you really enjoyed the video in general. There was a few different aspects to it. I really enjoyed creating it. If you liked it, feel free to hit that like button. It's free. It'd help me a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you like this video or the other content on Incarnate. I'm sure I'll be putting out more Incarnate videos when the game starts getting developed more, but also maybe do some more videos on the Vulcanverse ecosystem as well. I would certainly enjoy doing that. The challenges, I'm limited just because it does take a lot of money to get involved heavily into the ecosystem. But right now I'm still enjoying the whole free-to-play kind of play-to-earn model because the games are actually really good that they have available. So with that, again, just hope you enjoyed. Thank you for supporting, and we'll see you in the next one.